Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So as we can see, we did break out to the upside. We did break above and hold above this 48,500 area, which is now giving us a nice run up towards the $50,000 area, which is this is our sort of upper quartile resistance. If we break the wider range up into four parts, this is the last line of defense before we get to the very top, and then obviously once we break above there, we go into real price discovery. But yeah, obviously a nice bullish price action here. What obviously 50k, we know 50k is pretty psychological as well, a pretty psychological level, and is also these highs here. So not much price action in recent history in Bitcoin over 50,000. So yeah, getting to 50,000, I think we would then get up to 52, 53, and then it is a case of, do we literally want to bust all the way straight up? And what I will draw your guys' attention to was the last time we did look pretty bearish within our sideways range. We did very quickly bounce all the way to the top of the range, had a bit of a pullback to around just below the upper quartile, and then catapulted straight onwards and upwards from that point. So could we see something similar here? Yeah, I mean, we very much could. We'd look for the move up to the next level, a pull back into around the 50,000, and then lift off. So if that is gonna to play out as a fractal, I'm not necessarily a massive fan of fractals, as in, well, it happened then, so it's gonna happen now. But I am a fan of if you just see enough price action, you kind of get an impression of how it kind of moves, how it kind of operates, which kind of then gives you sort of an insight into what markets can do going forwards, because you just kind of have this sort of like memory of just how they trade, how they meander around. But yeah, so far as direct fractals, I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but hey, it could, because it did happen here, and this was legitimate price action, how price action can operate. So yeah, could we be seeing a break up? We certainly could, but first things first, we do need to get above and hold 50k, and not get rejected there, because we could very easily get rejected in this level, get slammed back down, and then obviously if we then take out 47k, realistically we've got to be looking for moves down to basically down to around 45k, and then obviously hope we get supported there to turn back up. But obviously things are bullish until they aren't. Things are looking good until they aren't. The only real worry is just what is going on in the stock markets. Bitcoin may just be rallying off its own back, just on ETF potential news getting priced in, because obviously if an ETF does come, and obviously like a US based one, and everyone starts FOMOing into those ETFs, it's clearly going to have a lot of upward price pressure on Bitcoin. So obviously the chances of that are increasing, of the ETF been basically passed, or what is it, ETF being allowed, or whatever it is. Is obviously looks like that's potentially what's getting priced into Bitcoin, even with stock markets looking weak. It is also kind of reflected in the in this Ethereum Satoshi pairing, because obviously it is an Ethereum ETF, and Ethereum is kind of struggling against Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin makes these bigger moves, obviously we know the altcoins don't keep up. It's when it kind of puts in the top, starts to trade sideways, maybe even down, then the alts can move up against obviously Bitcoin. So yeah, obviously Ethereum touching down to its support level again. If we want to look at in the USD pairing as well, just to have a look, I mean, you can see it's getting a bit held at this resistance. So I mean, if it kind of does break above here, it could then see some pretty rapid appreciation, which then could finally be reflected in a nice move up in this chart, in this obviously chart. But we shall have to see how it plays out. So I still got my voice back, and I don't feel like that ill anymore, but I have got this tickly cough, which is quite annoying. But yes, the Bitcoin dominance is still creeping its way up. It's in my opinion, is just looking somewhere to put in a high and then roll back over. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It's not, as I keep saying, this isn't like my favorite real metric, to be honest. If we do want to go and have a look at the DXY, DXY obviously did bounce off this important level that we were talking about. We was basically saying if we get below here, then it will look pretty bearish, taking back out this level. But we did bounce off it quite nicely. So now it's a case of, is it this sort of like a mini dead cat bounce off this level before we do continue down, or is it a very nice back test of this important level to continue onwards and upwards? We shall have to see. We shall have to see. I mean, moving down from here, getting rejected from this, I mean, this is very short-term stuff, but yeah, not making it above this, very short. In fact, we will draw it in just because, I mean, I think it is important in this short term. Staying below here and then breaking back down here obviously will look pretty bearish. Getting back above here, then realistically we're looking for a tap of the top. I'm not assuming or suggesting or expecting it another move up to take out this level and catapult to the upside, but it could do. But if we do, basically I'm expecting just another tap into this horizontal and then play some downside then. So we shall have to see though, because that is all pure speculation. The 10-year doing a similar, I mean, I have said that the 10-year is reasonably closely going to be following the DXY, which obviously it does, and incidentally hitting an important level, the same as the DXY had a similar important level bouncing off it. So again, needs to break below it to continue back down. If we do look at stock markets, I mean, again, testing this low. I guess the BTFD stock only up, number only go up. Stock market people are getting a bit worried here. But again, I mean, this is what markets do. We see it in Bitcoin all the time. They make you look really worried about downside, or make you look very complacent about upside, and then they turn around. So yeah, maybe this is going to turn around. I mean, we quite clearly got a downward sloping trend line here. If we take this out, then yeah, I mean, at least expect a move basically back up to around here, and then it's a case of, do we break above there and go full bullish again, or do we get rejected and just kind of trade sideways within a range? And obviously we could just come up to this, get rejected, and then lose this horizontal, at which case, I mean, I'd like to say Bitcoin would get dragged down with it, but it is operating a bit stronger, obviously, than stock markets are looking. But like I said, I think that maybe ETF sort of specific move, price appreciation getting factored in. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. That's my views there, my thoughts on it. Obviously, Nascoin not doing so well. This is not open at the moment though. And yeah, the Dow. I had a look at the Russell the other day. Look at that. It's literally just sideways ranging like all of the year. It's like, this would be a good thing for people to trade if they just wanted to trade the ranges in it. Yeah, other than that, not too much to look at here. We shall go back and look at those stochastics, which obviously are going to be not be looking too bad, are they, in the context of what's happening? But yeah, 4 hour moving up and has got room to run. So can you get us above and hold us above 50? We shall see. A pretty important psychological level as we discussed, but I do think this is the second time of asking in recent history, so I think we can get above, because also, like I've shown you in my charts, like the top side of this range for me is around that 53,000 anyway, not 50,000 anyway. Yeah, these all meandering, holding up at the highs. Daily absolutely catapulting to the upside, but still has got room to run. 2-day just got loads of room to run. 3-day just about turning up all the room to run. 5-day looking to turn up, got a lot of room to run. And then weekly, bi-weekly, weekly is obviously still kind of down, but like I said, maybe expect some of this sort of action. Bi-weekly moving up, got loads of room to run. One day the monthly will turn up, and then we can be like, yeah, the monthly turn up. But I mean, I wouldn't worry about this too much. But overall, these higher time frame stochastic reads, and certainly what we've seen in the price action, is clearly not saying that we can't rule out literally a break above these highs onwards and upwards to 100k plus Bitcoin. Obviously, we know all the Plan B stock to flow models and all that cool stuff is saying like 60 odd thousand this month, and then obviously higher the months after. So the stochastic read clearly is not ruling that out. And as you guys will know, this also is my opinion, that we do run up into the 100Ks into this end of this year, and 8K Ethereum and all that cool stuff that I've been crystal ball predicting all year basically. Yeah, there we go. That is the end of this video. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.